Good morning, everyone. It's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your bonus read for Tuesday the 30th of October. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Lively cards this morning. I want to welcome all the new people on board. I want to say thank you for... Do you get sick of me doing that? Thank you for all your beautiful comments. I love reading them all. I sort of think sometimes it gets getting a little harder because obviously there's getting more people, and I still try to read through them. So some just amazingly beautiful, heartfelt things. But the thing is, sometimes when I do the readings, I feel... I'm an empath. I'm a huge empath. I'm very, very deep, and I've opened myself up a lot over the years. So I feel feelings very, very deeply now. But sometimes when I'm doing your readings, I feel tough, like talking about what you're going through, but I think you need to hear it because you need to think what you're going through is part of your growth. So I think for a lot of people, it's like, oh, thank goodness for that. I thought I was going mad. But I particularly felt so much pain yesterday reading through the Pisces reading, and a few of the comments I got on that really brought it home to me this morning, and I got quite emotional. I think that, you know, doing some of this work, processing this, you know, these feelings, these changes, accepting that we're growing, evolving into, you know, more of who we're supposed to be. We're letting go of egos. And it's tough. It's tough work, and it really does evoke a lot of emotion and a lot of pain. So believe me, when I'm doing the readings, sometimes I'm feeling what you guys are going through. Maybe not to the extent you are, but I know how tough that is for you at the moment. And also, I've been on my own journey for some time too. So I guess I have a lot of, I sort of understand. I don't get you. I can't relate to what you're going through personally, but I understand the journey. So what we have here, look at this beautiful card for our bonus read. We have the Temperance. Now, I always talk about how much I love this card, but I love all the cards in the deck. The Temperance talks about bringing things into balance. There's lots of things about this card that are really beautiful. First of all, she's got her third eye open. Then she's pouring love from one cup, or emotions from one cup into another, because she wants to get a fine balance. You can see that she looks a little bit like a waiter, doesn't she, with the cloth here. She has one foot in the water and one on the ground, showing that she's equally balanced. So for a lot of you, you are reaching this time now. So if you've been through a pretty tumultuous time and you've been dealing with your feelings, unwrapping yourself, trying to find out who you are and who the person is deep inside you that you'd forgotten, this is the card that's telling me for many of you, you're coming to a point in your life where you're feeling very, very much in touch with your emotions and very balanced. Okay, so the first card we have out is the Star. Now we have two major arcanas here, two arcana cards that talk about love, healing. This one here, the Star, also talks about hope and having faith that things are going the right way, having faith that you're working on what you need to be working on because the universe is supporting you through this journey. So this card tells me for a lot of you with that Temperance card that you are doing what you need to be doing, and you are unwrapping yourself. And yesterday when I was doing the reading, Spirit said, tell them they need to turn themselves inside out. And I had a really good think about that last night, because I thought that's so true, isn't it? Because the person we have on the inside is very different to the ego we carry to show the world. And what Spirit is saying is that we need to show who we truly are to the world, not the ego. The ego is man-made. But, you know, I mean, I don't know what everybody's beliefs are, but if you believe in being, you know, angels, believe in being earth angels, however you feel, whether, you know, you come from the alien perspective or even the God perspective, we're not supposed to live in our egos. That's what other people tell us. That's what we grow up learning we have to behave like. And if you're a person who watches a lot of the news and news programs, you'll understand that a lot of what you're told there really does affect you. So, for example, if you're constantly hearing that, you know, there's going to be, you know, some sort of disease outbreak, you immediately go into this lockdown feeling. you know, about worrying about getting a disease, or, you know, if somebody's talking about a terrorist attack, you immediately go into this sort of like protective mode. You don't really think about all the other stuff around that. You just immediately go where people tell you to go. We're sheep like that. Very sad, but we do. What we're supposed to be doing is looking deep inside ourselves to understand why we're told those things, or why they may occur, and what we need to learn from that. Because sometimes those diseases, you know, are 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 10,000, but we immediately put ourselves at the forefront because we lead with ego. So just be sure of what you're learning. Okay, so the Five of Swords comes out next here. Now, the Five of Swords talks about conflict. It talks about having a win at other people's expense. Now, I think this came out in the What's Cracking read today. So there may be a few people who are doing this. In order sometimes to better our lives, better our existence, we have to cut out what no longer serves us. So it's sort of this feeling that you've cut people off, you've cut something out, and yeah, you've won because you've done the right thing, but it's that empty celebratory feeling. It's that, you know, feeling, well, okay, now what? I'm here. I've done what you asked me to do. I've done what I needed to do. But now I'm feeling a little low and a little lonely here by myself with my 5 swords. Okay, so we're getting repeat cards this morning too. So the Wheel of Fortune's here as well. So this is obviously a very strong message for people this morning about things about to turn in their favour. The Wheel of Fortune talks about, you know, that karma has to go around. You know, what goes up must come down type thing. So we're sort of looking at something being either returned to us or something giving us some new opportunity to work on something. So I'll just put the next card out and I'll do a bit of a recap here so you know what's going on. Okay, you could have someone coming back. You could have someone coming in for you because you've done good work. The only thing I have to say is the Knight of Wands can be a little bit of a fickle energy. It can be a person who doesn't want to commit, but he's pretty hot, he's pretty sexy, and he's on his way. And it could be a she too. So what I'm seeing here is you've gone through a lot of healing, You've brought balance in, which is fantastic. You've had to cut things out of your life that no longer served you, which is brilliant. The universe is about to reward you for the work you've done. So the Wheel of Fortune, the karma is turning now in your favour. You have a Knight of Wands here, so it could be somebody bringing you in something hot and passionate news. It's a card of action, so sometimes it can be a person who's coming in, but very often they're not here to stay. They may just come in, bring a message and go. He's a very fast knight, so this is happening quite quickly for you. Now, this could be a person, and if it's a person, you have to sort of be a little careful with them because they may not want commitment. They may just be coming in for a romp in the hay type thing. So just be a little careful if somebody does rush into your life here, that you put boundaries in place, because the last thing you want when you're feeling vulnerable like this is to have another energy just to test you, to see whether you're, you know, respecting yourself. You have the boundaries around yourself. You've taught to, you know, I mean, you've spent a lot of time going through all these changes and getting rid of things that don't serve you. If you want something with this person, if it's somebody that you want to have in your life, then you need to put boundaries around them. You need to use your learnings now to deal with this. He could be a player. He could be someone who's coming in to offer you something that's not real. We were talking yesterday about con men and con deals. So it could be something like that. So just be a little careful because it's sort of like a bit of a test. And we have the Page of Cups here again. Some of you are dealing strongly with Pisces around this time. I've had this card come up quite a lot, and it is the card of Pisces. It could be a Pisces child. It could be a Pisces offering you some sort of gift here, some sort of offer. Just be careful that it's the offer you want. So if somebody's offering you something, job, work, whatever, just be really careful, because with this flighty energy here, I feel like I have to say to you, just be careful that it's true and real. Okay, 8 of Pentacles, because you've done a lot of work on yourself, guys. You've done a huge amount of work, and you don't want to undo it by going down the wrong path here. it could be somebody that you've been interested in a while. It could, you know, look good on paper, as it were, if it's a job or something. But be really careful, because I feel like with all this good work on yourself, there's a lesson here for you to be really clear about what you want and where you're going here. And if you're not, you're going to take yourself back down the same path and cycle round again like this Wheel of Fortune. Don't do it. Okay, and then I have the King of Wands. So this says to me, this Knight of Wands coming in, if you stand your ground, if you tell them that, you know, they're not sincere, they're not bringing you what you want, they can't place on the table what you need, then it's very possible they'll come back with a real offer. Now, you can be dealing here with a Leo, Sag, or Aries. He's a very, he could be a businessman. He can be very attractive, very alluring, charming. Sometimes he is quite good looking. But whoever this is here, you've made them serious by standing your ground. So use your good work to make sure they don't take advantage of you. Okay, and then we have the Hermit card. So you may knock back this offer. You may still not trust this offer, because it looks like you're heading back inside yourself again, just to check on what you've done, how good you're going, how your feelings are. Just have a little look back inside yourself again, just to make sure you're on track here. So I think that sometimes when we've done good work, especially if we've come out of relationships or jobs or whatever, sometimes what we're being offered then we don't trust, because we become too suspicious. So what you have to do is you have to sort of balance that up with, you know, being able to take a leap of faith on something. So you have to find the balance there. But look, you've grown stronger. You've done good work. You know, if this didn't turn out, you know how to deal with it now. It's easy to cut out now. So if nothing else, you've learnt the lesson of how to move things out of your life that are no longer serving you. And look, there's an Ace of Cups here. So you will get offered what you want. For some of you, it is love. For some of you, it is a job. But it's definitely something that you are really relishing in now. You've got the real offer here. You haven't got this little tiny weeny offer that you had here. You now have the real thing. So you have a new start in love here. Let's fall straight over the King of Wands. So if it's a person you're after and you stand your ground, you have a good chance of getting what you want. They're testing the water to see what they can do first. Beautiful. Look at this. So there's an apology, there's some sort of truth coming out here. This person is disclosing something to you, opening up to you, telling you the truth, but definitely coming in to offer you something you need to move you on your path. Now, if this is a job and you hold out for money, you will get what you want. If you're waiting for a job to come in and you stand your ground about what you are and what you're not willing to accept, you will get the job. If you have a family member who's let you down, who comes back to apologise, and you say to them, this is what I expect from you and these are the things I won't take or tolerate, they will abide. You're in a position now to be able to manifest and manage your life the way you need to. Now, you run the risk every time of somebody walking away. But, hello, weren't meant to be there in the first place. So, something better will be provided for you. Self-respect, self-love, speaking your truth is what this is all about. Beautiful, beautiful reading. Okay, let's pull you a little oracle card. I'm loving these cards, but it takes so much to learn new cards, but I'm starting to really sort of understand them now. Oh, that one wants to come out. Ooh, ecstasy, yielding, rapture, and bliss. I love the butterflies. I'm sure you see all the butterflies in my unit. They're everywhere. You only have to look. Beautiful, beautiful card. So the ecstasy card is the card 27. So let's have a little read of the blessing here and maybe a little touch on some parts of the card. So the blessing says, the ability to surrender to a higher power of your choosing is a valuable experience as well as one which can provide intoxicating levels of delight. There is power in the surrender and great soul ecstasy in the finding of one who, for an instant, takes the burden of decisions and gives you great relief and satisfaction and pleasure. Be aware that you must choose this person with great care. It is time, though, for you to admit that in some ways ecstatic experiences are our teacher only when chosen wisely. So that pretty much supports that reading in a big way. Be careful what you do, how you say it, how you go with it, because you actually have more power than you realise. Thanks, guys.